Geist. Yeah, great example.
Good morning, Americanos. Good morning to you. Good morning to you, early birders. All right, a couple things I'm gonna randomly go around the table talking about this and that. But let me just say this. There's too many effing people on the road. There's too many effing people on the road. I don't know where all these people come from. I don't know why they're here. I don't know where they came from. But imagine the volume of people that come to this country from all over the world. Not to mention that shit that's going on over there on the other side of the world. And then those people leaving, they have to go somewhere. So pretty soon, America will not be America. It will be something else. I don't know what they're going to call it, but it ain't going to be America. The flag will change eventually. The Constitution's going to change. All the landscape of the people that live here are going to change. And yes, I know we're all immigrants at some point, but we've evolved from being immigrants to being natives. All right, moving on. Your history is being erased. Just know that. Your history. You and you and you and you are being erased. Slowly, you're being erased. I've accepted that. I've accepted that we are at that point in this country. We are all being erased. How so? Your traditions, your family values, your history. If you are a generation from the north or the south, any flags, any history of family heirlooms or whatever, that shit's all being erased, whether you like it or not. It's being erased. I don't know if any of y'all have seen the TV show Yellowstone, popular, with Kevin Costner. I watch it. I love it. I think it's just one of those all-around shows that anybody can get into, even those that are not into westerns or cowboys. Of course, you know, you have your indigenous, your Native Americans, and your cowboys. I mean, classic Americano type of show, right? Obviously, it's evolved, right, because it's no longer about cowboys and Indians. It's Native Americans, right? And it's about them getting their land back, which rightfully so. You know, it was taken from them. So anyway, I'm not going to get into that political arena. I'm just saying. But if you watch the show Yellowstone, as the show evolves from season 1 to season 3, I think we're going on season 4 or 5. Can't keep up with them now. I think we're on season 4 or 5, yeah. But if you watch the first couple of episodes, right, the series, you'll see that it's evolved from slowly, first introduces the characters, right? And then the character development begins. And then now it's about them saving or holding on to what they have, right? It took their family generations, hundreds of years to get to where they're at now. And they own like the biggest real estate property in Montana. I believe that's where it's at. And it's about them holding on to it, right? And then in the background, it's about the indigenous Native Americans wanting their land back that slowly was taken from them, whether it was stolen from them or bought from them. But that's the concept of the story, right? It's about holding on to what they know, holding on to their lifestyle, to their history, to their values, to their traditions, to keeping that lifestyle of country, western, outdoor life, right? And slowly the progression is progress, right? You can't stop progress. You can hold it back, you can slow it down, but you can't stop it. And progress comes in many forms. It comes usually in volumes of people wanting to move in a utopia setting, right? Anytime there's a utopia world, land, setting, anything like that, people are always going to want to migrate there. It's just human nature. Whenever there is a utopia land that is undiscovered or is found by other people that, hey, I want to live over there in paradise, I want a piece of that, I want to get into there. How do we get into that area, right? It slowly progresses into population, right? People coming in. And once people come in, guess what they do? They F up the land. They put a Target and Starbucks and shopping center. And then the utopia is no longer a utopia, right? But it's human nature not to care, right? I don't care who was here before me. I don't care about the traditions. F it. I'm going to bring my style of living and thinking and way of living to this new utopia. And people that have that mindset, that go to other places to conquer or to live, they really don't understand that they are effing up that environment. I know no one thinks they're the bad guy. Everybody wants to be who they are, right? If you're this or that, you don't want to change. Even if I move from this state to that state, and that state is different from the state I moved to, I want to make it like it was back home over there, right? It's not just about going from that country to this country. It's about even local communities, counties, states, not changing that environment to say, hey, I'm willing to adapt. I'm willing to change my ghetto gangster style to come over here and be a cowboy, be Western, right? And vice versa. If you go from the country and you go to the city, okay, you want to be more city folk-like, dress like the city folks, right? But it slowly progresses and takes over an environment. All of our history is being wiped out. Look at the Georgia Guidestones. That's history, whether you agree, like it, dislike it. That is history for everyone that remembers it up to the point of it being gone, right? Think about the generations that come in afterwards. They'll never hear of that. And if they do, it'll be a folktale, right? They'll never, because they can't see it, they're not going to believe in it. They're going to have to go digging through history, if it's even still there, to say, oh yeah, there was once this thing called Georgia Guidestones. And as the story changes, or as the story is told from one person to the next and generation to generation, that story is going to be twisted a little bit. Details are going to be left out. You ever do that scenario where you get a group of people, right, and it's kind of like office building, and the instructor will tell the first person a story, and that person has to repeat that to the next person, and so forth. And by the time it makes its way around from several to 12 to 20 people, that story has changed so much by leaving a couple of words out or telling the story a little bit different, that the story is completely different from when the original story. It's the same concept, right? It's progress. You can't stop it. You can slow it down, right? But you can't stop it. It's human nature to change what the past was. And then you wonder why people are getting out of teaching. Nobody wants to be a police officer anymore. People are burnt out at the hospitals because of the 2.5-year event that we had here called the Unicorn, right? Everyone's just tired. Everyone's done. The old way is burnt out. I had this conversation with my wife just yesterday, and she's like, well, everybody feels like that. Even the people that don't think they're the bad guy feel that way, right? It's funny how that works. I'm not the bad guy, right? I'm just living my life. I'm doing what benefits me. If that means stepping over this or that person, cutting throats, or, you know, backstabbing somebody, I'm the good guy, right? Society, man. It just makes me, I'm going to wrap this up, but it makes me want to just pack up shop and just move far away as I can from people. But can't run from it. You can hide in your little part of the utopia part of the country. I see a lot of us doing that, right? We live in our little homestead little thing, and this is our world, this is what we love. And then once you step out of that bubble, guess what? Society slaps you in the face right out.